My parents have my sister, female teen, and me, male nearly adult. My sister's autistic. She's very verbal, has issues with social cues, and generally isn't very easy to be around. She says pretty mean things to people and is the worst to me. She has no filter, and I struggle to be around her. Sometimes I have to leave the table when we're having dinner, or leave the house when she starts because I want to explode on her. My parents always tell me I need to understand it's the autism. She's learning, and she's working with therapists on the behavior. They'll tell me over and over to be understanding. On more than one occasion, my parents scolded me for walking away, and I asked them directly if they'd rather I tell her to screw off. My parents said I shouldn't think that way about my sister. I told them they don't even know the half of it. They were appalled by that. But I don't want to be called a dumb idiot or told I'm ugly, to have her laugh at me when I do poorly at math. I have dyscalculia. To have her make fun of me because I was upset my boss was hospitalized and he was pretty sick for a while. She's mean to many people to the point that I never bring my friends around the house or her. But like I said, it's worse with me, and it's all the time. The other side of things is my sister cannot be left unsupervised for long. My sister will shut down regularly, and it's put her in some dangerous situations. She will always need more help and won't ever be capable of living entirely on her own. My parents' plan was always for me to take care of my sister when they were no longer able or when they were gone. I didn't mind before, but now? No, I'm not doing it. I do not have the patience to love her through all her crappy behavior. It was always there, but it gets worse the older she gets, and I would not be a good fit. I couldn't just take it, and I don't want to. I don't want to take care of her. I wish I didn't have to see her every day as it is. A week ago, my parents told me I needed to learn to be more patient and understanding with my sister because I would take care of her one day. And I told them they needed to start saving for her future care because I won't do it anymore. I told them I would not deal with that daily for the rest of my life. I told them I wanted a family one day and would not expose my kids to her. They were angry and told me she was my sister and I needed to do better. The past week has been strained, with them telling me I'm treating her worse right now than she ever has. Am I the idiot for telling my parents they better start saving for my sister's long-term care? Because I won't take care of her when they're gone. Not the idiot. Wow. Just wow at your parents foisting that responsibility on you. Even if you were the best of friends, that's a lifelong commitment they're just expecting you to pick up. What about your life, your dreams, your future? Without the anger, you need to tell them that you're your own person. You have a right to live your life and not just be a caretaker for your sister. I disagree. The main thing to understand is that they're scared, terrified in fact, of what'll happen to her once they aren't there. They have no idea what to do, so they took the easy way out of deciding to sacrifice the rest of your life. It's a challenging situation, but you should be more patient with your sister. She probably won't be this bad forever. Teens in general are the worst people. What the heck? She's a teen and trying to learn how to behave herself? What did they do for the first years of her life? I know, anything she wanted, right? Anything to keep her quiet, except teaching her from a young age how to control herself. OP, it's not your job or your responsibility. Your parents need to come to grips with this fact/reality. I agree. This mean behavior is not a symptom of autism. This is definitely a result of the parents simply letting her talk to her brother however she sees fit. So sisters made OP her verbal punching bag. A lot of times, overstimulation and other stressors come out in anger, but this is a constant barrage of personal insults and disgusting name-calling that's not characteristic of just being autistic. Holy crap! It makes me so mad when people act like it is. OP's sister will never be nice to him because the parents don't do crap to help her regulate this, except telling OP to ignore it. When you're 18, get out, go to college, or get a job in your own place. Your sister's not your responsibility. My 32 male, wife 30 female, and I have been together for 11 years, married for just over 5 years. Ever since I met her in college, she's been insecure about her appearance, specifically her body. When we got our first jobs out of college and became financially stable, she approached me and asked how I felt about her getting a boob job. To be honest, I wasn't a huge fan of the idea. I told her I loved her how she is and that I don't think she needed one. But knowing how much it has bothered her, I told her I would support her decision either way. After thinking about it for a while, she approached me again to say that if I was still serious with my answer, that I would support her either way, that she's going to proceed with the operation, as it's been something that has affected her self-esteem for a long time. I wasn't sure how to feel about it at first. I thought about talking her out of it, but wanted to stand by my original answer and support her either way. In 2021, she went and got a surgery. I will say her surgeon was fantastic, and things did end up looking very good. The problem I've had is ever since she's gotten her surgery, it's definitely emboldened her to put them on display, so to speak. She went from wearing baggy and unrevealing clothing to very tight and revealing shirts with a lot of cleavage. I had dated bigger-chested women in the past, so I was pretty used to it. It just threw me off in the beginning. One thing that I'm not adjusting well to is her over-willingness to show people her bare breast. It's no secret to anyone that has known her for a long time that she got a plastic surgery. At first, it was mostly her just showing her girlfriends, which was still weird to me but didn't really cross a boundary for me. However, it's almost as if the more and more she's shown them off and gotten validation, the more and more enabled she is to continue doing it. The first time it crossed a boundary for me was when we were at a friend's house for dinner and drinks, and she had a little too much to drink and showed her girlfriend her breast while her girlfriend's husband was standing right there. We fought in the car about it on the way home. The next morning, I tried to set boundaries with her, but she dismissed it and shook it off like I was being controlling. Most recently, we were at a friend's house with many other mutual friends watching a football game, and she got drunk again. Upon our team scoring in walk-off fashion, she lifted her shirt and flashed the entire party while jumping up and down in celebration. She's not even a football fan and hardly understands who to cheer for. To me, it was like an excuse to just show off to everyone, without their consent, I might add. I was livid, and again, we fought about it. She got defensive and turned it around on me, saying that for once in her life, she's happy with how she looks, and she just wants to feel good about herself. I again tried expressing my boundaries, but she completely dismissed them. We've been short with each other for a week since that's happened. It may sound ridiculous, but if she can't respect my feelings and my boundaries, this could be grounds for a divorce. I know that might sound dramatic, but I've expressed that I'm not okay with it, and she dismisses me constantly. Am I the idiot for asking my wife to please stop flashing people? So my aunt went through this weird flashing phase after she got her augmentation done as well. Everyone was uncomfortable with it and kind of talked crap about her behavior when she wasn't around. I think it's weird to show them to people who haven't expressed an interest in seeing them. She's probably making everyone uncomfortable. It's odd behavior that's not within social norms, especially flashing during a game where her surgery wasn't even a topic. Honestly, it sounds like your wife is still insecure and doesn't feel better about herself, and that's why she's showing off, to get validation. She needs to focus on herself and whatever's making her insecure and unhappy. Maybe I'm wrong, but for the women that I know who got the surgery out of insecurity versus medical or wanting to fill out clothes, it was always a deep-seated insecurity and self-worth issue. You are not the idiot, and your wife is becoming the idiot for continuous flashing to people without their consent. I'm really sorry. This is rough. Good luck. After high school, my friends and I left our hometown, and I settled in a major city about a couple hours away. My friend Elizabeth, who lives several states away, wanted to have her wedding back home. I helped her look for venues, specifically ones that were self-contained, where we could sleep, eat, have the ceremony, and have the reception. Nancy, a hometown acquaintance, runs the venue we chose. While visiting and getting everything finalized, I discovered that Nancy's young teenage daughter, Natalie, is obsessed with a specific celebrity, Alice, to the point of having Alice-themed merch and posters on her wall. Elizabeth became friends with Alice a few years ago, but I didn't know until we had a logistics call that Alice would attend the wedding. Alice mentioned that she wanted to be just another friend at the event instead of doing things like taking photos and signing autographs, and that she was exhausted from her latest project, which involved a lot of fan interaction. I reassured her that we would stay out in the countryside with a small group of people so that everything would be fine, and she'd be just another wedding guest. The wedding went off without a hitch, but afterward, Alice posted a few photos with no location identifiers to social media. Still, Natalie follows her, recognized a couple of distinct landscape features, and was hysterical that Alice was at her mom's venue and she didn't get to meet her. Nancy's furious with me and thinks I should have told her that Alice was going to be there and that I should have even gotten Natalie in front of her. I'm honestly torn and genuinely feel bad for Natalie, but it also feels like I would have violated Alice's privacy. Not the idiot. It's not your job to disclose the entire guest list to the venue's owner. The level of fame doesn't matter. Alice wanted a stress-free environment to be with her friend for her wedding. In my opinion, the needs of the guest exceeds the needs of the venue owner when it comes to events. It is incredibly unprofessional of Nancy to make this demand. Did she think her daughter should have been invited to the wedding? Or that the daughter would just be there with the staff, hanging around, waiting to accost Alice for an autograph, photo, or conversation? Either way, it's entirely unprofessional and inappropriate. Insanity levels of entitlement. Did you see what the Swifties did to Margaret Qualley's wedding? Oof! Elizabeth is entitled to the wedding of her dreams with her family and friends. Alice knows how her celebrity can detract from that and appropriately raise the concerns. The fact that Nancy's now furious that a paying customer was unwilling to bend to her teenage daughter's whims is not okay. If Nancy keeps harping on this, I would put the whole story in your Yelp review. It's that not okay. My husband and I are raising 3 kids. My husband was married before me, and he has a son, Cole, teen, from his first marriage. Cole's mom died 11 years ago, and my husband and I met 9 years ago and married 7 years ago. Together, my husband and I have a daughter, Freya, a young grammar schooler, and Theo, a kindergartner. Cole has never really accepted me as family or the kids. He's not unkind, but disinterested in us, especially the kids. It's not that he doesn't like kids. He's great with other kids. Cole was in therapy after his mom died, and we did family therapy together before my husband and I married. He never spoke against our marriage or us having kids, but he's not very warm toward us either. It shows with the kids more because they want to be closer to him. They want him to take the same interest in them as he does in other kids. They've seen him with his friends, much younger siblings, young cousins, and kids in the neighborhood. My husband and I don't push too hard. I'll take Cole to pick up video games every few weeks because he loves gaming, and I ask him questions about the games he enjoys as a way of trying to bond. We also go to the arcades, the pool, and walk together. Yesterday, I was taking the kids to a holiday party, and Freya asked me why Cole didn't like them, and I asked what she meant. She asked why he likes other kids more than them, and he told her that they don't have the same mom. Theo didn't really understand it, but Freya understood enough to be upset. She was crying, and Theo was confused more than anything. This all came up because Freya wanted to show off her costume to Cole, but he wasn't interested. Yet he does show interest in other kids' costumes. I told them sometimes when a kid ends up with their parents no longer together, and they fight a lot, or when a kid loses their mommy or daddy young, like Cole lost his mommy, it means they find it hard to let some people into their heart. Cole lost his mommy, and it made it harder for him to feel about us the way we feel about him. Freya said her best friend has a sister with a different dad, but she loves her. I told her it doesn't happen all the time, and that sometimes it gets better, but that how Cole feels does happen at times, and all we can do is try to accept it and respect the way he feels. I also told them it was not their fault at all. My husband wasn't home at the time, but when he did, I told him what happened. His parents were also home because they wanted to see all the kids dressed up. They heard what I told my husband, and they told me I should have never said that to the kids because I should know that Cole isn't fully honest when he says things about not loving them. I'll make the kids think it's true when they're so little and too young to understand the complexities, and I made it black and white for them. My husband told his parents they needed to leave, but they called me a bad mom before they left. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Thank you for trying to explain complex family dynamics to your kids in a way that respects the feelings of all involved, puts no blame on anyone, and enables your blended family to live together as best they can. Also, it is refreshing to read a story where the stepmom is not stomping boundaries and forcibly claiming the title of mom. I'm pretty sure Cole appreciates that in a way he can't really express yet. In-laws need to stay in their lane. Good on your husband for backing you up. I'm with your in-laws. You are the idiot. Cole's not even trying to be nice to the little kids living in his own house. He's hurt a little girl's feelings for no reason other than she's a reminder that my mom is dead. He doesn't have to love his half-siblings, but politeness won't hurt. Yeah, he's a teenager and he's in pain, but more therapy could help him be less angry at a couple of blameless kids. I'm not a therapist, but I wonder if Cole feels like he's betraying his dead mother by showing affection to his half-siblings. He may not even be aware of why he's doing it. I feel very sorry for Cole. He's living in a house where his half-siblings have both their parents while his mother's dead. This type of trauma is something that he'll have for life. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes no contact or low contact when he becomes an adult. It is clear to me that he's not over the death of his mother. I, 22 male, confessed my feelings to my friend, 22 female, 2 months ago, before finding out she was dating someone. So I just dropped the idea and never mentioned my feelings again. 2 weeks ago, she was sick. I visited her twice that week, once with miso soup, and the second time with a new book, since she was bummed out about not being able to go to the bookstore. Kept her company and helped replace the cool, wet cloth thingy on her forehead to lower her fever. But that's it. Nothing romantic. Last week, she and her boyfriend broke up. All I know about it is that it was a nasty argument. She came to me, asking me out. I told her I'd already moved on and was seeing someone else. My friend got upset, asking me why I cared for her when she was sick, if I had moved on. I told her I did it since we're friends, and that it's not my fault she interpreted it as me still being interested. She said I should have known it would give her the wrong idea, that I'd be waiting for her in case she gets out of her relationship with her now ex. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. She was keeping you in a friend zone and as a backup. I bet she broke up because you took better care of her than her boyfriend. Asking you out right after they broke up is a red flag, so good on you. Bruh, come on. She wasn't keeping him anywhere. She was just dating someone else while simultaneously being his friend. I'm not saying OP is the idiot, because they didn't do anything wrong, but the girl might have just needed time to process her feelings, and when she was too late, after misunderstanding OP's intentions, she got frustrated and acted somewhat entitled and bratty about it. Chill out. There doesn't always have to be a corrupt villain in every scenario. I agree. I don't think either of you is an idiot. It's just an unfortunate case of bad timing. I believe she realized what a great guy you were when she was sick. You were loyal and stood by her. Her boyfriend didn't, or she wouldn't have needed you. So now she realizes that she made a significant mistake when she turned you down. Unfortunately, you moved on because she now knows you're a keeper. Sadly, this sort of thing happens all the time. No one is an idiot in this situation, except maybe the ex-boyfriend. It's just a case of bad timing and miscommunication.